All right, Padres, they get the 9-5 win here. This is 5 consecutive home wins. I see maybe a 162 home game schedule in the works for the Padres. I mean, the way that they're playing, that's just how long the baseball season is, right? Where it felt like yesterday we were saying this team can't win at home. All they do is win on the road. Now it's totally flipped where they're not winning games on the road, right? They have a 1-5 road trip, and now they're only winning games at home, essentially. They're playing really well at home. There's power at home. A bunch of home runs. I think Petco's like the most friendliest to home runs this year in the big leagues, which I was not expecting. But, you know, Padres pitching gave up a lot of home runs early. Not so much for Padres hitters, but that has definitely changed. Last night there were homers. Obviously the A's homestand, there were homers. And then tonight, Luis Arraez homers, Jake Cronenworth, he homers. I mean, Jake Cronenworth is the story of this game. What a night for him, 5 for 5. He scores, I think, 4 runs. He drives in a couple of runs. Luis Arraez was my underdog fantasy pick going into this game that he would score a run. He didn't just score a run, but he drove in runs by himself with that homer. Maybe that's the only place that he can homer at Petco Park, that little short porch there in right field, but I don't care. It's a home run. I thought Dylan Cease, results-wise, it should have been a better outing. I don't understand how that replay review was overturned and that runner was safe on the dribbler to Manny. Manny should have made a better throw, but it was still tough. He was on the run. It's not like he had time to set or anything like that. But Manny's another guy that is really encouraging from what I'm seeing right now. I don't know if he is back, but he hit some balls hard, and he wants us to give him props when he hustles. Well, okay, here you go, Manny, because he had that double down the line, hustles, head first dive into second base, then he hustles around, I think on Solano's hit, which I believe made it 5-4 at the time. He had a really good day today, and he's hitting the ball harder. He's spraying the ball to all fields. Obviously had the homer to right yesterday, down the line today, had one I think up the middle today as well. So I'm seeing an improved Manny Machado. I don't want to say that he is fully back, but we know that the run is there. I just wonder with that elbow, and he just had quotes on that past road trip about how he's frustrated and he's pissed off and how he can't get to that exact spot that he wants to get to. So that's why I guess I wasn't expecting this to happen right now, for him, if he is back, for him to go on this hot stretch right now. But the fact that he's hitting it to all fields, that makes me encouraged that, yeah, maybe he is back right now. Another story of this game that I need to mention, Tatis and Profar coming out of this game. Profar was the knee. He doubled down the right field line, and I was watching him run to second base, and he did not look good. He immediately bent down, tried to stay in there for a little bit, and then he just couldn't. He called for the pinch runner, where I think Azokar came into the game there. Tatis, he gets hit. No elbow guard. Padres, they call it a contusion, right? Forearm contusion or something? Triceps contusion, I think. Left triceps contusion. Maybe Tatis is going to wear an elbow guard next time. But, I mean, that's your 2 best offensive players. I know Croney is super hot right now. He's probably 3 on that. And Arraez you could throw in there too. But no doubt about it. I mean, these are your 2 probably slam dunk all-stars. Profar and then Tatis. So to lose those 2 guys will be a problem if that happens. But the good news is if those guys do miss time, you've got Manny who's hitting balls to all fields. It looks like he's getting going. You've got Croney who's on another planet right now with the walk-off homer last night, with 5 hits tonight. I'm not so sure he's going to be an all-star, but he is. He's our all-star for sure. And if he could get in now, usually for second base, it's like 1 or 2 second basemen, and then they just have a bunch of shortstops go play second base for that. But Croney is, we know, like, we don't need him to be an all-star for us to, like, appreciate him for what he's done this year. And there were Padres fans that were hating on Croney and the contract, and they were doubting on if he was going to be able to bounce back and be this, maybe not even this type, but a lesser type of what we're seeing this year. Just a better version than last year, more of like a 2022, 2021 Jake Cronenworth, but we are seeing that. We are seeing that, hitting the ball to all field. The power is there. He has more home runs this year already than he had all of last year. The defense, I think we're seeing how much value he provides defensively when he's at second base. I'm not saying he's bad at first base. It just feels like, to me, the best fit for him is at second base for this defense. And the Padres, they won this game with not great defense. I mean, Higgy had 2 catcher's interferences. Don't see that much. That's more of a Campy thing. You had Kim make the bad throw. You had Manny, good stop, right? Still, I think, prevented a run, but didn't make the great throw over to first. So it was not the best defensive night from the Padres, and yet they still were able to find a way to win this game. And they won it by 4 runs. And Robert Suarez did not have to pitch in this game. I would have still thrown him in this game because he got up in the bullpen, then he sat down when it was a 4-run lead, and De Los Santos came in there. Colette pitched as well. If Suarez is up, I was going to throw him, but I guess that makes him available for the last 2 games of this series. I hope it does, but we'll see. The questions coming after this game, obviously, is the health of Tatis and Pro. Because, I mean, it's huge, right? Because if Tatis and Profar are not in the lineup, then obviously we have Merrill anchoring the outfield there in center. But then you have, Tyler Wade? I mean, probably not Tyler Wade every day, but he was in there in right field. You would have a Zokar and David Peralta in there. And then who's your DH? Do you bring Graham Pauley up? Do you bring Eggy Rosario up? Like, what's that there? Campy is another guy. I mean, this team, they could be very banged up here. The thumb contusion, whatever they were calling it with Campy, he got nicked up on when Matsui was throwing to him last night. He was supposed to be in the lineup tonight. It was a scratch. So we'll see what his health is. If he can't go, then they're probably going to bring up Brett Sullivan, put Campy on the IL. I think he did something similar to this, last year when Nick Martinez was throwing to him? He was warming up Nick Martinez and he got hurt. And then he missed way more time than what we expected. So hopefully that's not what this situation is. But I mean, Padres, let's play all games at home now, huh?